Not as good as I was hoping it would be, but I still enjoyed my time watching this.
Your talents are needed. Somebody stole from us. We need that money back.
Just change of plan. They kidnapped an 8-year-old girl. I can't leave her to die.
Oh, you know the drill. Give the kill order.
Okay, Gunpowder Milkshake. It's finally out, and I finally had the time to sit down and watch it. And let me say, I mean, what an what an amazing name for a movie, Gunpowder Milkshake. And this is one of those movies where I was really excited to see it because of the trailers. And I have to say, this is one of those cases where the trailers were a lot better than the movie. And that's not to say that the movie is bad by any means. I enjoyed my time watching this movie, but after seeing those trailers, I was so hyped to see it. So maybe I hyped myself up too much, but the trailers were so epic, you know? So going into this movie, I was pretty hyped up. Now, before I go into any of the negatives about the movie, let's talk about the positives first. Number one, Karen Gillan's in the movie. She's the leading role in this movie. I think she did a pretty good job in the movie, whether it was with the action or just acting in general. I think she did a pretty solid job. I think for the most part, other than one character, which I'll get in it when it comes to the negatives, the entire cast and the entire characters and everything, I thought they were all great. And the action, I thought the action was all great as well, especially towards the latter half of the movie, the last 40, 35 minutes of the movie. I thought the action was really, really cool. Now, into the negatives. Now, this is what I'll say about the one character I was just speaking about. There's a little girl in this movie who I feel like kind of bogs the movie down. And it's not has nothing to do with the actress or the acting of the character or anything. It's just the character in general. I feel like had the script reworked it so she wasn't in the movie and the events were still able to happen without that character being directly in the movie, I feel like the movie could have actually benefited better from it, because this movie gets bogged down a lot with some of the overdramatic sequences, and I feel like if this movie would have just leaned into the fact that if it had just tried to be like in the same vein as like a John Wick or a Nobody, where yeah, you can be out for revenge or you could be trying to stop all the people coming and trying to kill you, but without all that overdramatic stuff and really just lean more into the action, I feel like this movie would have benefited greatly from that. As it stands, the movie clocks in at just under 2 hours long, and I feel like a good 15 to 20 minutes of the movie could have been shaved off had that character been taken out of the script and a few things rewritten. And that's basically my biggest complaint about this movie, is there are certain times where there's some scenes going on, some dramatic scenes that just, they don't feel dramatic at all. They feel totally tacked on and like, okay, you're checking your watch, you're like, all right, can we get to the next scene now already? Like, I'm not saying that the entire movie has to be nonstop action, but when a movie's being something and all of a sudden it's being bogged down by another element, an element that really almost feels out of place, that's an issue. And that's basically my biggest issue with this movie. But the rest of the movie, I think there were some funny parts in it. I thought it worked. The action was really nice. And as far as recommendations go, would I recommend this movie? You have a Netflix subscription, I would definitely recommend sitting down and giving this a watch. There is blood and gore in it, so if you're not a blood and gore fan, then I guess stay away. But if you like John Wick, if you liked Nobody, which came out earlier this year, you're definitely going to have a great time with this movie. And anyways, I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you back in my next one.
You're bleeding.
It's just a scratch.